The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 16. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, stand ye in the way, and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles, my bishops, my elders of Great Millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, through the four corners of the earth. And to you believers, the Akim and Akwathi, to you I say Shalom. This is Brother Bum and Lock out of Great Millstone Camp, Austin, coming at you with this quick lesson. Just got through listening to video of Elder Yagadar Amawan out of GMS Houston. That was our Quan. And he was in the spirit, and just really just an inspiration from the video he just did. And that's why I'm coming out of the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 16. I'm gonna read it once again. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, stand ye in the way and see and ask for the old path. And the old path is when we was governed by the law, statute, commandments, when everything was going well with Israel. And Israel's name was, and our forefather Jacob name was changed to Israel, Yasharallah. He, prince of the power, he has power with the prince, so, and he's the progenitor of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hence the whole Bible is speaking to the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, because you are the 12, you represent the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, stand ye in the way and see and ask for the old path, where is the right way, the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. And they is the 2/3 of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. They said, shit, we ain't walking in that path. That requires us to walk the straight gate. And 2/3 of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, they don't want to walk in the straight gate. Matter of fact, let me get this. Let's go to let me pull this precept up real quick, man. Let's go to Matthew, the 7th chapter. Because you got to walk through this straight gate, man. Y'all don't want to walk through the straight gate. The book is St. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13. It says, enter ye in the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. See, but 2/3 of the Negro, Latinos, and Native America, Babylon the Great, it represent that wide path where you can just do any and everything, right? Walking through that straight gate means what? You're going to have to submit yourselves, and your body and your life to the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in the ways of the Holy Scriptures. And our people, they got a disdain for the law, statute, commandments. They got a disdain for following the ways of righteousness, man. Because Esau Edom, the so-called white man, who is the physical counterpart to the spiritual demon Satan, he's allowed you niggas to do any and everything here in Babylon. So y'all have became enchanted, with the broad way. Let's read this again. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 13. It say, enter ye in at the straight gate. See, you got to enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And y'all niggas are getting led to destruction because y'all still thinking voting it's going to save y'all. Y'all niggas want to cleave unto what? So-called the black conscious community. Y'all niggas want to cleave unto what? That y'all are so-called Africans. Y'all cleaving to everything that y'all except y'all true nationalities, being the what? The biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. It said, and many there be which go thereat. Verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. See, narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, man. So what you do, you got to come back under the commandments of the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Most important and specifically, you got to start calling on the names of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. It's which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. See, and there are few there be that find it, and that few, considering you got almost 9 billion people. I say 8 billion people on the earth. And the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to get what? 144,000 mighty men. It's going to be the governing body of Israel, of the earth. And then you're going to have an innumerable multitude. So a lot of people are getting ready to be destroyed, man, in these last days. A lot of people are getting ready to get deleted in these last days. And we are in the last days. Because what? Y'all trust not, y'all trust not in the words of the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Y'all trust not in the scriptures. Verse 14 from the top. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and a few there be that find it, and a few there be that find it. And if your ears, and if this word and this gospel is tingling in your ears, you probably part of the few, man, that find it. Finding what? Life. Finding the life in the Almighty of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Because we know 2/3 of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're going to continue to go up into these polls. Now I guess that your girl Kamala Harris saying that she possibly might make a run in 2028. And we know that you men going to be out there in waves voting because y'all want a woman to lead y'all. The scriptures tell us that a woman should not usurp authority over a man. But the men have become so effeminate here in Babylon the Great that they desire a woman to lead over them. A woman that'll have administration. A woman that burns down the house. And that's all women do is burn down their fucking houses, man. So let's go back to the scriptures, man. Back to Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16. It say, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, stand ye in the way and see and ask for the old path, where is the good way, and walk therein, and you shall find rest. You shall find rest when you walk in the good way. The good way is what? Coming back to the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, coming back to your nationality of being Hebrew Israelites. And we're not no fucking black Hebrew Israelites, man. We just Hebrew Israelites. Esau Edom don't demonize the word black, and you niggas are call yourselves black, and then in the next moment y'all are demonizing the word black in Hebrew Israelites. That's how confounded and stupid 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are, man. Call yourself the color of a crayon. No one's fucking walking around here black. Different shades of brown. No one is white. Esau Edom is red. He might be peachy red. He might be red. And some of them niggas might be motherfucking goddamn, what's that, that little one female actress? She almost looked like she porcelain red. So again, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all need to what? When you want to find rest for your souls, you got to come back to the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and his name is not no damn JC. JC don't exist. He didn't go up on the cross. As brother Karal Bard said yesterday at class, he didn't go up on the cross and die for the sins of Israel and was raised on the third day. Yahushua Hamashiach, he did. Again, but they said we would not walk therein. Matter of fact, let's go to a new tab. Let's go to a new tab. We'll just go right here and get it from here. Let's go to Zechariah, one of my favorite. We'll start at verse 9. The point is in verse 11, but we'll start at verse 9. It says, thus speaketh the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, hope, saying, execute true judgment and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother. That's how we're to operate here in our captivity, because we're still yet this day in our captivity, man. It say, and oppress not the widow, nor fatherless, the stranger, nor poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart, in your mind. And see, and that's how Israel was a loving people, and we still are loving people. Esau Edom, the so-called self-professed white man, know that we're loving people. You know why? Because you niggas will go out y'all wit's mind to show love to Esau. Y'all go out y'all, this man don't oppress, he don't rape, rob, murder, and kill, and yet you niggas still love him. See, that just shows, man, that we're loving people, man. Verse 11. Now read verse 10 from the top. Zechariah 7 and 10 from the top. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. Verse 11, but they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. See, because y'all don't want to walk, y'all don't want rest for your souls. You don't want to walk in the good, the good way. Y'all would rather continue to suffer and try to chip away, at being in Babylon, which is America, spoken of in the Holy Scriptures. Y'all would rather suffer, and continue to to march in the streets, because y'all won't want justice. And you're not going to get no justice here in America, Babylon the Great, unless you start calling on the names of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Esau, Edom, he has a what? In the book of Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, he got a perpetual hatred towards you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The sooner y'all accept that, the better off y'all will be. You're not to go out there and try to get your weapon and sword and come up against them. You get the Bible and you come up against Esau, Edom, the so-called self-professed white man. That's how you come up against Esau. He was blessed with the sword, not us. We was blessed with what? Spiritualness. Esau was blessed with the sword. He's a carnal man. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua put something in you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that Esau, Edom, the so-called self-professed white man desires so much. He desires so much. He need to get rid of all you Israelites off the earth so that he can what? Try to so that he can what? He's trying to get back his birthright, most importantly. Verse 11, but they refused to hearken unto the prophets. They pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. Verse 12, yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua host sent in his spirit by the form of prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua host. Hence, that's why we find ourselves in these different captivities. And this is the last captivity. America, Babylon the Great. Which is spiritually called what? Sodom and Egypt. And Egypt always what? Was a symbolic, of us being in captivity. Matter of fact, let's go to let's go here. We'll go to, I already got the tab up. Let's go to the St. Matthew. St. Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 1. We'll start at the top. It said, and Yahushua, you see it got that J word, but we know, in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, no one was calling on no fucking JC, man. And Yahushua answered and spake unto them again by parable and said, it said, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a certain king which made a marriage for a son. Parable. Made a marriage for a son. And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. And who was bidden to the wedding? The Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. You all was bidden to the wedding fest, man. I read Jeremiah 6 and 16. It said, and again he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen, my fatling are killed. All things are ready. Come unto the marriage. Amen. The kingdom of heaven is ready. I don't kill the fatling, the oxen. Everything is prepared, man. The table is furnished. All you got to do now, all you got to do is turn towards the what? The right way. Go towards the straight gate. Verse 5. But they made light of it. 2/3 of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Hey, man, y'all ain't no damn prophets. Hey, man, ain't no such thing as no God. Because y'all don't got it, you know, Esau don't gave y'all, it got you 2/3 of the Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, y'all disenchanted, you know, with the Bible. He got y'all what? Thinking on his wavelength. And his wavelength is always built upon wickedness, because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, Job 9:24. So that's what the mindset of 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are built upon wickedness, man. Verse 5, but they made light of it and went their way, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and treated them spitefully and slew them. You know, and we're coming into that time period. Y'all already treating us spitefully. Y'all haven't yet put your hands on us, but y'all are already in that spirit of scoffing, treating us spitefully. Because what? Y'all, a nation of people that desire nothing more than to be what? Like heathens. 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. When the Most High chose y'all to be a chosen people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. But y'all treating the prophets spitefully. Verse 6 again, and the remnant took his servants, and that remnant, that's, you know, it's not talking about the remnant that's going to be saved, talking about the remnant of you 2/3 who said, let his blood be upon us and our children. Treated them spitefully and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth and sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their cities. See, this is getting ready to happen, man. Even though this is a parable, you know, we're that army, man. We're that army. Ezekiel 37, 10 or 11, I think. And they stood upon their feet, an exceedingly great army, man. You know, and eventually when we come up out them chariots, man, you know, and we're going to pull the king, you know, the nobles of the earth out of these fucking different bunkers and underneath the water and all these different places, man. But it's also talking about the 2/3, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You're going to get slewed, man, when the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, when he come back to the earth, when he make his second appearance. Verse 10, verse 8. Then said he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all bidden, but you're not worthy. Y'all not worthy, man. See, hence everybody's walking in their lot. Everybody's walking in their lot. The prophets, the believers are in their lot, and the scoffers, you know, and the 2/3 scoffers, y'all are in y'all lot. Non-believers, anti-Hamashiachians, man. Verse 10, verse 9, it says, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as you find, bid to the marriage. See, we go bid y'all to the marriage. We go to the highways and the byways. We go to the highways and byways week in and week out. We do these epistles daily, you know, and y'all what? Y'all don't want it. Y'all don't want to hear this gospel. Y'all don't want to hear, you know, the 100% truth of the Holy Scriptures that we at Great Millstone, that we bring out. Verse 10, it says, so those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. See, both bad and good. Both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. The wedding was furnished, you know, it's with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. He didn't have on that what? That robe of righteousness, man. The purity, the white robe of purity. Like, damn, how you sitting there trying to come to my table and you're not what? You're not calling on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. You don't cleave unto the ways of the wicked. Verse 12, and he said unto him, friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Verse 13, then said the king to the servant, bind him hand and foot, and take him away and cast him out of darkness, and thou shalt be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man, when these thermonuclear missiles start coming from Russia, Iran, China, North Korea, and all these other nations. That's going to what? Rise up against America, Babylon the Great. It's going to be gnashing, weeping and gnashing of teeth, man. Because y'all have what? Y'all have rejected the words of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah out of the mouths of the prophets. We're going to close it out over here. We're going to close it out right here in 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 21. Well, verse 20. We'll start at, we'll read 19. 2nd Ezra 7 and verse 19. And he said unto me, there is no judge above Yahweh, the Most High, and none that have understanding above the highest. Verse 20. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of Yahweh, the Most High, that is set before them. For the Most High have given straight commandments to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. How do you avoid punishment? Hey, you heed the message that the prophets that have been given here in Babylon. Return, repent, back, turn back to the Most High Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah. Put off unrighteousness and put on righteousness. That's how you are to avoid punishment. Matter of fact, we'll go right here. We'll close it out here. We'll close out here in Isaiah. I didn't want this lesson to be that long. The book of Isaiah chapter 55. Book of Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 6. How do you avoid punishment? Seek ye the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah while it may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way. Stop. Hey, turn from wickedness and turn to righteousness. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Unrighteous man his thoughts. Hey, man, you know, you want to get away from, you know, the evil thoughts, man. You know, and how you do that? You start calling on the names of the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah. You don't call on JC. Love thy brother. And let him return unto the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our Most High Yahweh, for he will abundantly pardon. So the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah will abundantly pardon. And when he'll pardon your sins, man, that means that you preparing yourself for salvation. So I pray this lesson has been edifying. I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah HaKwadash. Double honors to my apostles, my bishops, my elders, a great millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, through the four corners of the earth. Shalom.